And good morning. Let me begin by just saying that yesterday, apparently YouTube was doing maintenance on their system, and for at least 2 or 3 hours, I was unable to respond to people's comments, which I tried to do, and in some cases I just gave up. I mean, I had a very lengthy supply, or, well, not a very lengthy one, but many sentences, a paragraph on one person, and I totally lost it. It disappeared. I don't know where it went, and I wasn't going to rewrite it again. But I suppose many people were having problems finding or functioning in YouTube, and the numbers showed it. It's the lowest numbers I've had in a long time. Not even 300 views, according to what I looked at a little while ago when I came to the computer. Anyway, I found it interesting that that the maintenance seemed to have an effect on numbers, and I'm reminded once again that when people watch the videos on Facebook, they don't count on YouTube unless you actually click it over and watch it on YouTube. I'm told that's how it works. Whether it is or not, I don't know. Anyway, today's title is Shortcut, Making the Crooked Path Straight. And my blurb goes like this. It used to be that most of my prayers were focused on myself and whatever situation presented a challenge. That drastically shifted in more recent times as I focused more and more on others' needs, and especially the common human plight of finding our way home. Last night I prayed for clarity in my own life as, once again, the bank's attorney is threatening the auctioning of my home. I slept 5 hours, awakening with a vivid dream that reminded me of the promise, I will make the crooked path straight. See Isaiah 42:16. Isaiah 42:16 reads like this. I looked it up after I wrote the blurb, and this is from the King James Bible Cambridge edition. And I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things I will do unto them, and not forsake them. That's actually one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. There's a lot of people that think that I'm totally against the Bible. I'm not. I'm just against making it an idol. I'm just against putting the Bible between you and your personal experience with God. The Bible, like every other book of great inspiration, has much wisdom in it and much that can be gained by studying it. And I don't regret at all the fact that I memorized passages when I was young, and that I can still recognize in my life the stability in some of the rougher times in my life that knowing some of the scriptures and some of the promises gave me, even though I railed often against the fact that the promises seemed to take so long to get here. Ultimately, in retrospect, I can see that there was purpose and meaning and unfinished business that had to be taken care of. And one of the things that I've noticed about my life and about the lives of humans is that we seem to meander like a river almost, making these wide sweeping turns and stuff like that, rather than just cut to the chase. So the idea of making a crooked path straight has always been something that my ego has said, yes, that's exactly what I want. I want it to be, I want the shortcut. Give me the shorter version. Give me the Cliff's Note version of the whole thing, so that I can finally get it right. And for those of you that don't know what Cliff's Notes are, they used to be yellow and black covered books that were very, very condensed versions of longer books. The Cliff's Notes. I remember them from when I was in school, so they go back at least into the 60s, maybe even earlier. I'm not sure. Anyway. I had a dream, as I said, and in the dream, there was a team of us. I was not the only one there. There was a team of us that seemed like we were cutting through the jungle and making a path from a particular point and cutting out a couple of the big winds that we had to do normally, that the path went way around this way and then back again, then way around again and back. And we realized that, hey, from here to here, we can just go straight across. And that's what several of us were doing in the dream. We were cutting through and setting up markers. We were setting up trees sort of on either side of the path. And as we got almost home, we noticed one of the markers had been knocked over, but we just simply stood it back up. And we were where we were supposed to be. We were back home. And getting home has been a symbolic journey for me. Home being back to my essential self, back to the place where I'm confident in my own gifts and my own abilities, where I've learned to awaken the latent parts, the latent powers of my soul. Home is remembering who I am, restoring the things that I've lost along the way in the winding road, winding path journey that I've been on, trying to find my way through all this maze of confusion that is the human experience. And I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not the only one that's had this challenge of trying to make meaning out of my life. And asking for a dream or asking for a vision or whatever, as I did last night, and waking up realizing that I was just dreaming of a bunch of us. It wasn't just me. It was a bunch of us cutting through all the apparent obstacles that we've had to face and realizing, hey, we're getting closer to actually getting to our destination, and it's going to be much quicker. The shortcut that you've been asking for a long time is finally ready to manifest. It's here, and I'm learning to trust intuition. That's the thing, again, about the Bible. When you go and you try to figure it out with your head using the Bible, you're bystepping or sidestepping your own intuition, your own experience, your own heart, really. And that's not a good thing. It's important that we have personal experience. And that's why I've had to go through all that I've had to go through, for example, in this lawsuit that's it's getting up on 6.5 years in January. It'll be 6.5 years since the lawsuit was initially filed. And this is December, so we've only got a little over a month to go before the date of the filing, which was July 26th, I believe, 2005. In any case, I've had to learn a whole lot about the system, about law, about how things work. And the courts, for the most part, have ignored almost everything that I've learned, almost everything that I've submitted. It's as if I didn't submit it. And now they're right back where they were in April, May, beginning of June, wanting to put my house up for auction. I don't know that it's actually been done yet, but the motion has been put before the court because, as I've mentioned before, the appeal court apparently, from as I understand and read the documents, apparently allowed the judge that I was appealing his ruling to write the ruling for the appeals, in which the 3 judges just simply concurred and bowed down and said, "Sure, Your Honor. We won't fight you on that. We will let you have it your way," and giving the bank's attorney apparently another shot at auctioning off my home. Now, somebody wrote, and this is what I wrote yesterday, we shouldn't own property. We shouldn't own property. I mean, this is a foreign concept, owning property. We need to be like the Native Americans and the indigenous peoples. They don't own property. And it might sound very romantic from a Western mind point of view to be gypsies or nomads and travel from place to place. I mean, there might be a certain level of adventure and excitement in all of that. But my mind and the minds of many in our Western culture need the stability and the security of having a place that's ours. And so I really go along with what Anastasia in the Ringing Cedars of Russia series that Vladimir Megru wrote, of each person having their own space of love, their own homestead, if you will. And in Florida, my property is my homestead, and they're trying to take it away from me by a legal process that wasn't even allowed to fulfill. There was no, she said, we want to continue the foreclosure. There was never a foreclosure even filed on my house. Neither could there be, because there was never a mortgage. There was never a mortgage. It's all done by sleight of hand, by the lawyers and by the banks, trying to claim rights of something that they don't have. This was granted to me. This home was granted to me in a deed, and there are steps that I know about that I'm going to be taking to further claim my natural rights, which I talked about yesterday. I talked about our natural rights, and I need the stability of knowing that I'm not going to have a home pulled out from under me, as so many thousands, if not millions of people, well, on the planet, it's certainly multi-millions of people that don't have homes. They don't have the security of a place they can rest in peace and call their own. And I'm sorry if you think that, for those of you spiritual people that think it's best if we not own property, I'm sorry. I want a place that I can do my work from, that I'm not always worrying about, is there going to be a roof over my head? Is there going to be food to eat? Am I going to be able to move from one place to another and travel at my leisure and at my will? I want all of the gifts and abilities that are inherent in being a human being as I see it. I want them to be manifested in my life. And the dream showed me that, yeah, we're cutting through all the BS. And I'm applying it to the lawsuit. I will once again file papers, as I've done. They may once again at least pretend to ignore them, except they can't totally ignore them because they're based on law. And somebody wrote several emails to me yesterday on Facebook, or comments on Facebook regarding yesterday's video. There is no justice in this world. And for a long time, that has been pretty much true. There hasn't been much justice in this world. But there are many people, as symbolized by the people cutting a path through the jungle and cutting through all the obstacles. There are people that have been making the way straight and making it easier for everybody else. I'm one of them. But I stand on the shoulders of those that have gone before me. I have not done this all on my own. I have built upon that which came before me, that others revealed to me. And that's why these people that think that you can only get your answers, it has to be in the Bible, well, I owe a lot to Christians that have based a lot of what they've done in the respect of understanding the law on biblical principles, maxims, if you will, of truth. And I owe a lot to them. But to idolize the Bible is not where I ever want to be again. I want to have a living God that walks with me, and to be able to live and move and have my being in that divine essence, that divine, what's David Wilcox calling it? I'm reading the book. I read more. I've been reading a little bit the last 2 or 3 days again. The field that we all live in. And the words are escaping me right now, and it doesn't matter. But we live and move and have our being in what I call God and what many others call God or the divine. And we're becoming aware of this. And living and moving and having our being in that means that's what we are. That permeates our being. It permeates our experience. And that's what's happening as we cut our way through all the obstacles that we've gone on in this long and arduous human journey through life. And we're reaching our destination. We're coming home. The evidence for those that look, the evidence is here. The powers that be are shaking in their boots, even though they're putting on the front that they've got everything under control, and they keep offering this solution to the financial debacle that's going on in Europe and really around the world. They keep coming up with things that they're going to do that's going to make it all okay, but it's not. The old world system is coming down, and we're finally getting to the place where we're going to be able to establish heaven on earth once and for all. God isn't doing it for us. God is doing it in us and through us. And yes, there's going to be angelic and extraterrestrial assistance. There probably already is. How much of it's on the physical level? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, I read the channeled messages and I see the things that are said to be being done. And whether they're being done or not, it's hard to measure. It's hard to know those things for sure. I feel a resonance with them. But then again, I want there to be. I want there to be good that comes out of it, which is why I've been so interested in the human plight of finding our way home, as I said in the blurb. We're almost there, folks. I have the feeling that we're almost there. I don't feel that that the bank and its attorneys are going to be able to take my home. And yet I know that they've taken homes from thousands and thousands of people in the United States, and there are people in third world countries that don't really even have homes, especially Africa. I mean, my heart goes out to the African continent when I think of all of the people that are refugees and all of the people in the war-torn Middle East and that are refugees of the war in Iraq and Afghanistan and the places where the vicious United States has gone in as an imperialist power trying to steal all of the wealth of those nations. This is all coming to an end, folks. It's all coming to an end. Keep your chin up. Keep looking within. Keep finding the treasure that's within each of you. You are the one that you have been waiting for in your life. The you that has been hidden from you. That you. The spiritual you, the divine you, the powerful you, the rich you. That you that you really are. Your inheritance is being returned to you, to all of us, as we create heaven on earth. Namaste, and thank you for listening.